Hello, Shanita.
Hello.
Thank you so much for spending time with us on the Dear Professor series, where college students who take courses online speak their minds. This is our very special segment called Remember the Time. For this segment, I would like for you to share one of the funniest, scariest, nerve wracking, disturbing, or fulfilling situations you experience in an online course. Take it away.
Okay. So I'm gonna share one of the scariest moments that I experienced for online course was a professor going ghost on us when it was time to finish completing my edTPA. So I'm right there at the finish line and my professor went ghost. Um I will never forget it. It was spring break for my job and I took my mother and my children out of town for spring break to go visit my brother. I decided to take my computer because I was in the process of submitting everything for my edTPA. I had completed everything and I was ready to send it in for review. Remind you that you have to have it in by a certain date so it will be reviewed to get your scores back on time. It was explicitly explained to us on day one. So, you had to get everything in on time or they would accept it, but it will push your scores back later. So when I completed everything, I was waiting for my professor to email me back about some questions I had asked her about the process. She truly went ghost on the entire class. I mean, when I say ghost, like not responding to emails, nothing, no phone calls, nothing. I'm not sure what she was going through at the time or something happened, but I was terrified to submit my final piece for my edTPA. I went back into my edTPA and corrected what I thought needed to be done. Even though I emailed her, she didn't respond. I just decided to just go back. Before I submitted it, I prayed so hard to the good man upstairs for me to have a passing grade because she just went ghost. Of course, my God looked out because I prayed and let it be. I just prayed and just let it be. I put it all in his hands. About a week later, I heard from the professor. I truly told her I was worried about her. I could have been upset and angry, but I was more so worried about her. That she just went ghost for a course like that anyway. That have students and they're doing the edTPA, which is for you to get your licensure. And she pretty much said she needed a break from everything because she was stressed out. So from this experience, I learned that we all are human. There will be times that lack of communication will happen, but just do not let it happen during the time that your students are dependent on you the most. At least be generous enough to send your students like an email letting them know, hey, you're fine. You didn't just disappear into thin air during one of the most intensive times of their lives. So that was like one of the most scariest times of my life.
Oh, Shanita. So let me just ask you a couple of questions about it. When you all were being ghosted, did you all lean on each other, or was everybody like every man for for himself, or how did y'all handle that?
Some of us, we pretty much leaned on each other to try to get it done to make sure that we had, all of our portions done, some of the areas done because like with the edTPA, they don't play. Like when they mean 2 minutes, they mean 2 minutes. Don't 2.1, no, they don't play that. So, you have to be very on point with it. So some of us kind of leaned on each other.
Right. And so, did you have this instructor's phone number, or was this just emailing?
No personal phone number. It was just emailing. Just
Oh,
emailing.
wow. So let's get a happy ending. So, what happened? You said you passed.
I did pass.
Okay.
I did pass.
You know what, Shanita? This is probably the second horror story I've heard about edTPA. We didn't have that when I was teaching. You did your student teaching and you were done. And you
Right,
have to do this edTPA now. So I can imagine how scary that is because you biting your fingernails waiting to hear from Pearson, right?
right. Right,
So
and
I,
this was actually during COVID. So that
oh
was another
my.
thing. It was during COVID time too. So that was
Ooh,
another big thing on top
yeah.
of
So multiple factors to make
right,
you.
right.
Well, I'll just thank you for sharing that story with us. And we want to thank you all for joining us. Remember to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Please join us on Wednesday, January 24th, when the full episode of this interview with Miss Shanita Davis premieres on the Dear Professor series, where college students who take courses online speak their minds. See you then. Bye bye.